scientists. So, biodegradable materials contain more biotic components than non-biodegradable materials. So, a biotic is a part of a whole living organism. Plants, fruits, vegetables, and even animals are all considered biotic organisms because they have a finite lifespan. The more biotics a product has, the more biodegradable it will become after it's discarded. We've been looking at products that have varied degrees of biotic components. But now let's look at some substances that have almost no biotic parts. So let's look at this glass bottle, for instance. So you would think that this is extremely biodegradable, right? Maybe. After all, glass is really just pressure and heat applied to sand until it melts and becomes semi-transparent. But the process of making glass is exactly what makes it so hard to decompose. In fact, the average piece of glass can take up to, well, we don't know yet. Scientists believe that glass will eventually break down, but there's no telling how long it will actually take. And let's see, this piece of tin foil right here will never break down. This substance is almost completely synthetic, which means even if the entire planet, everything, began to decompose, this little piece of tin foil would still be around. But one reason it is so important to know that materials that are biodegradable is because it helps scientists understand what products should be recycled. This tin foil and this glass can be recycled endlessly. They have no biotics. They're not necessarily damaging to the earth, but we use them in responsible ways. Sadly, most of our products, biotic and synthetic, wind up in landfills. Take a look at this. So even biotic materials can do harm to our planet if left unused in landfills. So take a look at my bottles here. This one is empty. This one has a banana peeling in it. Now, probably wondering that I'm crazy, but I have a reason for this. I am going to fill both bottles with water, and instead of a cap, I'm going to wrap a balloon around the tops of the bottles. So let me grab a balloon. Now I'm gonna take some water, banana water. Okay. If you try this at home, just know water can be messy. So I'm gonna put these balloons on the top here, nice and snug as a bug in a rug. And this one. Now, why did I do this? Let me tell you. So what I'm gonna do is wait. And it could take weeks to wait. But when that week passes, the bottle with just the water will still be a little floppy balloon on top. However, the breakdown of the banana peel in this one may cause potassium even nitrate to fill the balloon up. I mean, it's not gonna happen right now. It's gonna take some time. These types of vapors can be harmful to our air and our climate. So, I mean, what do? Stop eating bananas? No, I can't do that. So one solution is to compost your fruits and vegetable peelings so that their nitrogen and other chemicals can actually be helpful by growing plants and trees in your backyard or in the park. These substances produce vapors that might be harmful to humans, but plants and trees need lots and lots and lots and lots to stay healthy. Now, we could sit here for an entire week and watch this balloon blow up, or we could make our very own seed bomb. It's not gonna blow up, but I'm really excited for it. If you're excited for it, let's get to it. Okay, mad scientists, we've done a lot of talking about biodegradable products, but now it is time to have some fun and make a seed bomb. When I say bomb, I don't mean that we're going to blow up a seed. I mean we're going to be using paper scraps that we can find around our house. We're gonna need some bowls or containers. a blender if you have one, and if you don't, that's okay too, because you can do this by hand. You're also going to need some water and a pack of seed or 2 packs of seeds. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our blender, and I'm gonna take and kind of tear up some of my paper here. I'm gonna take and add some water to this. Yeah, I'm not sure how much yet. We'll add a little and then see if it's too much, because we can add some more paper. And if it's not enough, then we'll just add some more. All right, now if you don't have a blender, you can just use water and then take and rip up your papers really tiny and then mush it all together. Are you ready? Okay, so now that I have my paper kind of blended up there with the water, I'm gonna take and I'm going to strain it out now. Okay. Ew, that looks like gross water. Now, you can do this 2 ways. One, you can mix the seeds completely up, or you can create a little bowl and then put them in the middle. But I think we are going to just mix it up with the paper. And kind of mix it together. And then we're gonna ball it up. And since I used some color paper, it looks like this could be a really cute present for somebody. So, you know, for the holidays, if you want to make some homemade presents that's actually going to be good for the earth, you could make these seed bombs. And now, what I'm going to do is take my really pretty tissue paper here, because why not? And I'm just going to add some little pieces on top, little gold pieces. So yeah, I could really give this to somebody as a present because it's so cute. Look at our little seed bomb. This was so much fun. All right, mad scientists, it's time to take out the trash. I am so glad you helped me learn and identify biodegradable materials today. Do you remember what we called it when a product breaks down their components? Decompose, that's right. But do you know what we call a substance that used to be a part of a living organism? Biotic, you got it. Well, I hope you learned something today, mad scientists, and I hope you had a lot of fun making our glitter and our seed bomb, because I definitely did. Well, I will definitely be excited if you guys come next time and have a fun adventure with me here at the Mad Science Lab. Bye!